Hey, I'm Hannah and you're listening to a Nectar special here on Cool Moves Radio. Now, earlier in the week I caught up with Luke from the Kooks, slap bang between two gigs that they did in Kingston, and we had a good old chat about the brand new record, which is called Let's Go Sunshine. We touched upon Brighton as well, and it turns out that we both have a mutual love for the jazz bar Casablancas. He told me about his songwriting and touring with the Rolling Stones, which is pretty insane. There are also some brand new music recommendations thrown in there, and I've got a taster of some of the best songs on the album for you lovely lot. So here it is, enjoy. I'm Hannah, I'm from Cool Moves Radio, and I'm joined by guitarist and lead singer Luke from the Kooks.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Just ahead of the Kingston show tonight, how are you doing?
Yes, yeah, I'm good. Well, in between two Kingston shows.
Ah, yes, that's true.
We did the matinee, which we haven't... It wasn't really technically a matinee though, 7pm, so is that... 7:50.
Yeah,
it's a show.
It counts.
It counts, alright.
I want to talk about the new album in a second, but first, you're a Brighton band.
Yeah.
And you met Hugh at BIM, is that right?
That's correct.
Nice. Yeah. I've just graduated from uni in Brighton, so I was wondering, thank you.
Nice one.
What are your top three hidden pleasures, hidden places in Brighton? A bit off the beaten track.
For me it was like the free butt, which is definitely gone now. That was that's where we did our first gig, and that was my favourite dive bar. It's like it's sort of by where the Royal Pavilion is.
Yeah.
And that whole land, there's like a bit of land, and then there's like houses either side and the pavilion. But the free butt was really good.
Yeah.
We used to go to the Jongleurs, was it called? The little jazz bar.
It might be called Casablancas now.
Oh, Casablancas we used to go to a lot.
Oh, did you?
Casablancas was where I cut my teeth in dancing to funk music. yeah.
Oh, classic.
That was we used to go there all the time.
Yeah, we go there a lot now.
The Hot Poles was always good on a Sunday. So obviously not that many hidden places now. I haven't lived in Brighton though for almost 10 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
I do.
Yeah.
I love Brighton.
Yeah,
the level, that was what
Yes.
Sorry about
the level.
that.
That's all right.
I had a total brain freeze. The level. That's what I mean.
So, to the new album.
Yes.
Back to the serious stuff. You've released your fifth studio album.
Yes.
Called Let's Go Sunshine, and it was just under a week old, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Friday or something.
Exactly 6 days ago.
There you go. Congratulations. I think it's incredibly solid and uplifting, and I'm really glad, I know this is slightly controversial for you maybe, but I'm really glad that you've not done a complete Arctic Monkeys curveball.
I respect individuality, and I respect people doing what an artistic record when they want to do it, and not following what people think they should do. I think that they do that quite often. They surprise you. I think that's great. But we've kind of had a totally different whole journey, and this one was more. We did that on our last album. I mean, it sounded like us, but we totally changed the way we worked, and we worked with a gospel hip hop producer, and it was kind of like we were listening to like 90s R&B and like really got into that whole thing, and that was a big departure. And this album was, I guess, us going back to our roots essentially. And definitely in the way that we worked was very similar to our first album. And it was fun, it was really fun to go back to the guitar. I was all went back to like guitar and notepad to write the tunes, where I've been working so much with Pro Tools and Logic, and I've been working so much with in the studio that I'd sort of forgotten how to do that. So this album was like, right, write the words, like focus on what does it mean, what is the song saying,
rather than sonically as much.
Exactly, rather than production stuff.
There's been like a 4-year gap between Listen and the new album. What made you go, right, let's get writing again, I want to get creating something new, or did you have a big bunch of songs kind of stored up over a while, like I believe you did with Inside In, Inside Out and Conk?
Yeah, I mean, I never really stopped writing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's you'd probably hear that from most songwriters. I mean, I go through patches where I would write less, but I don't really just stop. And I'm not the kind of, I don't go in, right, I need to make a record, so I'll write a song. I like to just write when I want to write. But we did take a bit of time on this one because we were trying to, I think, really we had a slight sort of existential meltdown, like what are we, what do we want to do, why are we doing this, and when you get to a fifth album you kind of, I think it's your right to do that, because we were like 18 when we started, and so I mean, to make it your life's work by the time you're 30, I know it sounds a bit heavy, sorry, but you know what I mean though?
Yeah.
It's because you just, life's crazy, isn't it? Like all of a sudden I'm like, this is my life, I'm doing album 5, you have to mean it, you have to want it, and I think there's some tinkering with that for all of us in the band, not just me. Everyone was thinking that, so we had to do something that we wanted to believe in, that we would fight for, and there's some big chats about that, and then once we sort of said, look, let's do this kind of going back to the roots guitar band record, and we were all very much keen on this kind of like doing a real rock and roll kind of against the grain kind of record. A lot of producers we'd met would kind of be like, oh, let's do something really modern, let's like use like synth, and almost like DJ producers. I mean, a lot of people are kind of going down that road, which I totally don't disrespect, but I just think we were just like, no, do you know what, we're going to make a proper studio record.
Was that what you dropped? Because I think I read somewhere that you in 2015 you went off to the studios and it was kind of you're kind of doing something that didn't really feel like represented what you actually wanted to be doing.
Yeah, there was no songs. It was like some good vibes, and it was more cinematic and not really cinematic, but it was more it was more just vibes and some nice riffs and some nice sounds, but there wasn't really a message. Yeah, you know what I mean? To it, there wasn't any tunes. I think one of the things with the Kooks with our band is I think we're quite keen on having, we want to have big tunes, and if that wasn't there, it wasn't the right record for us.
Yeah. So in terms of constructing, your songs, do you go? I'm assuming you go lyrics first rather than sonically, or do they kind of go hand in hand?
I'm actually the opposite the way I work. Sometimes I like to come up with like concepts first, or like on the record there's a few songs that like Fraction Days and Tesco Disco where I had like the name of the song and not even a full like concept of what I was writing the song about, but I'd be like, I just think that's a nice bit of, like such a starting point. But I like to kind of pluck it out of the air a bit. I think I like to find a melody first. The melody quite often will make me feel something, and then if I feel it, then I'll like go there, and then I do the lyrics, and then I finesse the lyrics later, and really try and like hammer in what I'm trying to say. But I'll just so many of my songs that old demos are like it's about green eggs and ham, and then I do this, and then I go there. I don't really care about the lyrics until I've got the kind of basis. Yeah.
So how would you say that you write? Do you kind of take yourself off somewhere and is it quite formal, or are you putting like things in your phone notes all the time? What kind of thing do you go with?
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I think in the notes, like I say, the concepts and stuff. But I'm not really. It doesn't really work for me so much. It's all, to me, it does all come all in one. I just like to sit down and I'll be like, right, I'm going to spend the day writing, and I might write like 3 pieces of music that I don't use, and then the 4th one I'll be like, right, this has got something really cool about it, and then I'll drill into it and I'll like work on it.
What song on the album do you think you got the most out of writing?
It's hard to choose. There's, like Weight of the World is one that I really think is the most kind of honest and it's quite. I'm really proud of the tune. It's very simple, and I think it was self-reflective, and I think I got somewhere honest with it. Picture Frame is maybe the most accomplished piece, like for me, of songwriting, because it's quite intricate, and the lyrics are maybe just they're quite, just like love poetry, and so it's not for everyone, but I enjoyed that one. But then I love like fun ones, like Pamela was really fun to write, and a lot of people don't like Pamela, but it was a fun one to write because I was just like having a lot of fun. I think great British bands have humour in their music, so I hope people like that.
Is that kind of fictitious kind of storytelling?
Yeah.
Which I feel like has come through a lot more on the album through like Initials for Gainsbourg, Chicken Bone,
yep,
all the time. It's really accessible, and it's just a really nice breath of fresh air. Believe is a little bit different in terms of I understand that you've been led down a stream of consciousness route with that, and it's been like a lot more fluid. So how do you compare that to a more structured approach, or do you actually write? Is everything kind of stream of consciousness when you
not
write?
All, no, like no, like not at all. Like like I say, I'm so often like concept based.
Yeah.
But Believe, I literally, it is a funny one now. So I did the whole song pretty much, almost kind of, we replayed everything, but it's I had like all the guitar parts, I had it all, this kind of demo of it. And then I just basically just did a vocal take from the beginning to the end. And I thought I'd changed the lyrics, like I was saying, but then I kind of just ended up, I played it to the guys and the producer, and they were all like, "It's fucking great." I was like, "Really?" So it was pure. It was purely like I had no thought process on it whatsoever. And then afterwards, I went, "Yeah, it's like a super emo song."
Yeah.
It's like,
but it works. It works.
Yeah, totally.
This is a bit of an odd question, but we're gonna roll with it.
All right.
So hypothetically, in a distant, timeless universe, if you felt the urge to, I'm not pushing with this by the way, but if you had the urge to release another record, in what direction would you take it? Like, is there any unexplored sonic territory that you would like to kind of touch upon or play with a bit? Whether it would work completely or totally not? Like, what would you just want to have a bit of fun with?
Personally me, I would really love to do a sort of New Orleans jazz thing, ish. And I think Weight of the World's got that kind of saloon bar, New Orleans thing. I really love that kind of music, so I think that'd be fun. We also have been talking about doing some kind of reggae kind of thing, which is such a cliche. It's such a cliche.
I mean, it could work.
Well, we did quite a bit of sort of ska-ish stuff on our first album. So we have had funny conversations thinking we should go to Jamaica, we'll get Stone, make a record.
Why not?
We'll probably just go for holiday, but and see if something comes back. But,
you never know.
But I don't know yet. I mean, I think we've found something. I genuinely think we've found a really good place now. I feel like we've made a really good record, and things have come together in the jigsaw. Where I think we can build on this rather than run away from it. Whereas I think from our first album, maybe because it was so big and stuff and there's so much pressure on it, we were always trying to sort of run away from it. But now I think it's kind of, I don't know. We'll just see where it takes us. But the next bit, I think, like I said, I think we'll probably build on this album.
Solid. I've stumbled upon the "It's Always Sunny in Margate" sketches.
Oh yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, from the depths of whose mind did they come? How did that even happen?
That is our product manager Nathan to blame at AWOL.
It's very the
improvisation.
The Beatles help.
You got it all in one. That's the kind of idea. It was quite fun to do. Yeah, it's just improvisation. We're just having fun. I mean, again, like I say, I don't know. Maybe we'll do some more. It'll be fun. But I love. Like I say, I think British bands do it so well when there's humour, like the Kooks, the Beatles, the Smiths, Vicar in a Tutu. Do you know what I mean? I love when bands do some Monty Python or Harry Enfield, whatever. It's a good thing. So it kind of worked with that. That came from the whole concept of the record being quite in that lineage. Everyone takes themselves too fucking seriously. I
like it. I like what you've done. I respect it.
Bless you.
You've done a few dates with the Rolling Stones, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Just what was that like?
It's really cool. I mean, I feel it's great because we got asked back.
Yeah.
I wonder how many bands have done 2 tours with the Rolling Stones. Probably not many. So I think that's quite an accolade.
Yeah.
But it was great. I mean, in a weird way, it was the best bit was to have to be able to have the best seats in the house. We on both gigs, I managed to watch them from here to the stage.
Wow.
And I'm just as pretty much 99% of humans are. I'm big. They're one of my favourite bands. It was great. It's nice to see them again. It was good to hang. It was good to be on tour. It was difficult. Those gigs are tough. But
in what way?
Well, it's well documented. Particularly, they're really old school. It's funny. They are the most established band in the world. Definitely the most established touring band in the world. The greatest. They have 50 albums, or whatever. And yet they still tell people to sit down when you're playing. The people, and they still it's what I love about it is that they give you a rite of passage. They're we're the fucking Stones. You come to our show. It's our show. You'll do. You know what I mean? And I like that. It's they have a kind of old school mentality in it. It forces you to try and up your game. It's just mainly because the crowd, everyone's coming in there just buying hot dogs and they're buying, programs, and you're playing your songs. You might get even if you got 5,000 people in the stadium that like you, it's 80,000 people. So you're like, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's a lot of Stones fans that probably wouldn't know who the Kooks are. But if you win a few of them over, then it's great.
There you go. Exactly. So moving from the old to the new, the show that this interview is going to go up for is called Nectar, and it
Nectar, nice.
Nectar, and it focuses upon new, alternative, and indie music. So I was wondering,
brilliant.
Have you found anything? Or I mean, it does bits outside of that as well. But have you found anything that you're digging at the moment that's quite new that you'd like to recommend?
There's some good stuff. I mean, I really like Vista Kicks, who actually are on tour with us. I think they're a really cool new band. They're from LA.
Oh, sweet.
It's a band called Yala that I like quite a bit.
Where are they from?
They're London.
Oh, sweet, nice.
They've been working with someone I know from back in the day, and they seem really cool. Ellie Rose, my girlfriend.
Oh, sweet, okay, nice.
Give her a plug. No, she's got a new tune out. It's just, I mean, there's some good stuff. I think, we toured with another band, The Academic from Ireland.
Heard of them.
Young band. They're good.
Yeah.
They're a really great band, and they got so much love in Ireland. I think it'd be great. Hopefully, we'll see them getting some love outside in the rest of the world, and off the top of my head, those are the ones.
That's nice. Well, sweet. Thanks for joining me.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to the gig later.
Thanks so much.
Have a good time. Cool. Now, I've got a few of my favourite tracks from the album for you. Heads up first, though, there's a really nice little series of YouTube videos where Luke explains a little bit about each of the songs on the album. And it's just really nice to flick through if you want to delve in a little bit deeper. He says that the one that I'm about to play you next is a bit of a Stuff You song, really. So here you go. It's 4 Leaf Clover.